January 5th, 2020, we're looking at the holy grail of 8mm, super 8mm cameras. This is a Leicina Special, and it's in really good shape. It's got a 10mm Leica lens on it, and the optics are perfect as far as I can see. There's a little speck of dust on there that wasn't on when I started shooting, so I apparently just got that on there. So it's got a fold-out handle. There you go. And a very clean film compartment. I don't think this camera has had too much use. Unfortunately, the light meter, the internal light meter, does not function on this. This was serviced in about 2015. I purchased it from somebody in Germany and had it serviced by Clarence Gass in Edgerton, Kansas. He's an expert movie camera repair guy. Unfortunately, he passed away just this last November. It has a new eye cup. That's really important because on most cameras you're going to find that when you touch the eye cup it breaks and falls off. This is a nice, supple Fujinon eye cup. Fujinon eye cups fit on the Leicina Specials. They're pretty much impossible to find these days. I picked up a couple back in 2015. This viewfinder is focusable. You move this little silver plate here to focus the viewfinder. That's really handy. And let's see here, we've got it set to 18 frames per second. Runs well. I'll post a sample film on YouTube that was shot with this camera, this specific camera and this specific lens. So I've got a roll of Ektachrome 100 that I'm going to include with the sale. I'll open it up and put it in. Okay, here we go. So you just stick it in like that, and oh, I might not have been aiming the camera effectively when I did that. You stick the cartridge in like this, snap it in place, and then close the film door like that. It latches, and you can press the little button on the handle here to run it, or you can press the button on the top here. And if you press both of these buttons here, this button and this button, it shoots at 54 frames per second when you press that button. So that's slow-mo. So if you want to get a slow-mo shot, all you got to do is press the second button there. That's pretty cool. And here's the ASA knob, but that really doesn't do anything for you since the meter is in op. There's a chance you could get the meter fixed, but frankly I don't find the meter all that useful, because what happens is if you're tracking an object and the lighting changes in the scene, the automatic exposure meter kind of doesn't really do what you want. It tends to overshoot on the exposure changes, and you get a lot of instability in the exposure. But if you just manually meter it, you can set the f-stop and not have that problem at all. So I actually prefer to shoot with a just a handheld light meter, so I don't really see the lack of a light meter on this one as being a really big problem. In fact, it kind of forces you to do things the right way. Anyhow, there is a lens cap. It's right there. And I'm not sure what else to say about this. It's a beautiful little camera, and it runs well. If you look at the movie on YouTube, you'll see that the registration is really unstable at the beginning of that film, and I believe that is due to the magazine, just being the film magazine being a little sticky. That film was Vision 2 50D. It was a custom load, and not loaded by Kodak, and so I think the instability at the beginning was just from the magazine. But I guess that's about all I have to say. This is a beautiful little camera. It's serviced, ready to go, and you don't have to wait for Kodak to release their camera that they announced in 2015. You can have this right now and begin shooting.